This is Rebecca Lowe, or Rebecca Lua, if you listen to Suboptimal Radio, and you are listening to Men in Blazers on the NBC Sports Network.
It's unbelievable!
Welcome to a Men in Blazers pre-season pod special. The man by my side, master storyteller, a gent who thrives in both the constantly changing world of online content and the charming ancient throwback art of novel writing. We love him for so many reasons, I really do. Mostly because of the eclectic passion he carries for so much which is good in life. Football, crying, curiosity, meaning and philanthropy, all of which barely scratch the surface to explain his infinite love of Liverpool Football Club. There's only one American who sponsors a North Stand at League Two side AFC Wimbledon. Yes, they will play in front of the John Green stand this season, and we'll talk about why. There's also only one American who created Paper Towns and then executive produced the movie based on the book, which hits theatres this Friday. Bring hankies, for God's sake, bring hankies.
Also bring your friends.
We welcome, hankies, important, friends more important. We welcome back to the pod, Mr. John Green.
Oh, it's so good to be back. Thank you for having me.
Oh, John, it is so good to be with you. It really is. Paper Towns. To say it is one of the most hotly anticipated movies of the summer is to be conservative with my praise. To be candid, the trailer generated more buzz than most movies that hit theatres. I couldn't be more excited. I read in your words, you said the book is about our fascination with manic pixie dream girls and our relentless mismanaging of each other, which sounds essentially like a Raheem Sterling biopic. But I want to know from you, I mean, the premiere's tonight in New York City.
Yeah.
How is the launch of a movie emotionally different to you when you're part of a team than the launch of a novel as an individual?
Well, I remember when my first book came out in 2005, and the publishing, there was all this lead up months and months to the day of publication, and then the book came out, and nothing happened. Nothing. There was no party. There was no red carpet. Nobody called me, and nobody bought the book. So that's the main way that it's different. Like, at least there will be a party tonight, and I know that famous people will be there. My wife will be there. It'll be fun. But
emotionally, though.
Emotionally, I like working in my basement a lot more than I like working in public. So this has been an amazing experience the last 2 months. Like, I've been able to travel all over the world with Nat Wolff, who stars in the movie and who's one of my closest friends, and that's been awesome. But I will really enjoy just being a suburban dad in Indianapolis who gets to watch Liverpool on Saturdays when this is all over.
Oh, you're like Clark Kent. You are like Clark Kent, basement dweller by day, Pharrell, friend of Rihanna, and of course the great Cara Delevingne.
Yeah, Cara's great. She's so good in the movie. I'm so excited for people to see the movie so they can just
hear her American accent.
She kills it with an American accent, but also she's such a great actor. I'm just excited for people to see that she's stop being like, oh, they cast a model as an actor, and just be like, whoa, she's really good in the movie.
Oh, I've got to tell you, seeing the two of you together gives me great pleasure. It's like watching How I Imagine Arthur Miller and Marilyn Monroe back in the day. Our generations. You'd mentioned the Premier League, John. It's got me all a quiver. How much have we missed it this summer?
Oh, it's been terrible. I mean, thank God for the Women's World Cup. That's all I can say, because otherwise I might not have survived.
I've got the Saturdays, waking up.
No, just like
without the Premier League. 8
to noon on Saturday is just a cold, dead, empty time in my life right now. And my children get to choose what we watch, which is terrible. They know the rules that during the season I pick.
They're going to grow up rudderless. Children need structure. They need to be dictated. But the weekends when there's no Premier League football, when there's no Rebecca Lowe, there's a quote that you once said that never is truer to me than in the summer, when you said, we all want to do something to mitigate the pain of loss or to turn grief into something positive, to find a silver lining in the clouds. But I believe there's a real value in just standing there, being still, and being sad. That's why I feel like on a Saturday when there's no Premier League, hashtag John Green is a prophet.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants suffering to be transcendent, but in the end, I think we all realize in the off-season that suffering is not, it's not good for us. It's just necessary.
And that is the perfect segue to talk about Liverpool's off-season, John Green. Let's delve in and talk Liverpool off-season and
Okay.
2015-16 season
It was
prospect.
the best of times and it was the worst of times.
It
It really was.
And we're going to talk about how you are on both of those kind of. I've got to open with the experience of this weekend. Not strictly a Liverpool storyline, but it kind of is when Steven Gerrard scored on his debut,
Oh, he played so well too.
on his MLS debut for the Los Angeles Galaxy. How does it feel to
Drew.
see your hero, Stevie G, the man you've referred to constantly as beautiful Steven Gerrard,
Yeah.
in a Galaxy jersey?
No, I mean, like, I think the best-looking, most important single human being that we've ever had on this planet.
More than Andrea Pirlo,
Far more.
honestly.
Yeah, even more than, I would argue, like, more significant to human history than an Alexander the Great or a Genghis
Definitely,
Khan.
undoubtedly, but not. Kaulo Toure clearly is a better looking bloke than Stevie G.
I don't
Pound
know.
for pound.
Makes a good used car salesman, though. It was hard to see Steven in an LA Galaxy jersey, but on the other hand, I was so happy with his performance because people have been so hard on him and saying that he wouldn't succeed in MLS, and he was so washed up. And here he's drawing penalties and that amazing shot that he had that hit the post, and then he scores a goal, and like he's clearly he instantly became their best player. And I'm really, really excited for them this season. I mean, I'm never going to be a LA Galaxy fan, but I'm always going to be a Stevie G fan. So I'm going to enjoy watching him this season.
You know what was the most amazing thing I saw him do? I mean, draw a penalty, wicked. Score a goal, wicked. I mean, those are both kind of comfortably within the Stevie G parameters of play. The most amazing single thing I saw him do in that game was look happy.
He did look happy.
It's been so long.
Yeah, he looked like he was having fun. And I mean, it must have been really difficult the last 20 years to hold all, this immense thing that is Liverpool Football Club squarely on your shoulders. Liverpool, I've often thought that
Just
Liverpool,
rolling it up to the top of the hill and then watching it slide.
right. He's been Sisyphus for so long. And, Liverpool Football Club is large and Stevie is small. And he has for so long had to be the club. And I think it's nice for him to be able to play football in this free and open environment. And plus, people in MLS don't run that fast. So that's a big advantage to him, I think.
He's saying to himself, I should have joined here 15 years
Yeah,
ago.
he would have killed it in his 20s.
I find it very meaningful, I've got to say, sincerely, personally, that the human spirit is capable of regenerating and experiencing happiness again after such kind of like an arctic spell of prolonged misery.
Yeah, that sounds personal.
To me, when everything's personal. To me, when I watch him play football in an LA Galaxy shirt, it's as if Elizabeth Gilbert is like Eat, Pray, Love. It's like the end of Eat, Pray, Love.
Yeah.
I love it. Stevie G and Eat, Pray, Love. The big question, a lot of people asked, knowing you were coming here, who will replace Stevie G in your Liverpool affections? Or a listener says, @Tooch says, I need a new jersey. The last three I've brought are Torres, Stevie G,
Yep.
and Luis Suarez. Who does John Green think is the safest investment?
I would buy a Martin Skirtle jersey right now. I think he's Jordan Henderson's going to be our captain, and I'm excited about that. But Martin Skirtle represents a lot of what I love about Liverpool, and it's a cliche to say people play for the shirt, but I think he really does. I think he plays really hard and really well, and so that's the jersey I'm buying this season.
Toot says he's actually not buying it; he's going to get it tattooed.
Yeah, I am. I'm
He's
just
going to
gonna
get it tattooed.
Just
body.
full chest, just the whole New Balance uniform tattooed all over my body.
I would have gone. I'm surprised. I would have gone Philippe Coutinho.
Oh, I do. I mean, I love Coutinho. I worry he might leave because he's going to have an amazing season.
Real Madrid, Philippe
I know.
Coutinho,
I'm a little worried.
Number one, he's a visionary.
He is.
Number two, he's added the ability to kind of score in big games.
Yeah.
To welded it on in the second half of the season. Number three, and probably most importantly for you, Nat Wolff could play him.
Oh, Nat Wolff would be a great Coutinho. Yeah.
Fantastic.
He's amazing. Nat Wolff is amazing in paper towns, but I think he hasn't been able to explore what he would be like as a professional football player.
Yeah. When we
I
make
will
the
say
movie, being Liverpool too.
Oh, being Liverpool too. I can't wait. Yeah. Who's going to play Brendan Rodgers? That's the real
He
question.
might be able to play himself after the next couple of games. We'll talk about that one in a minute.
just on account of how he'll be unemployed and he'll have a way to... Yep, that's good thinking.
Yeah, I can imagine him in your casting couch. Only I can bring the real sausage fingers. Stevie G leaving brings you to tears.
Yeah.
I'm reading a book at the moment, beautiful book, Meir Shalev, Pigeon and a Boy. And I started sobbing while reading it in a taxi on the way to work this morning. When you write, do you write to make the readers cry? You're like, okay, this morning I'm going to write a 5 hanky scene. Oh, I've nailed it. This is the scene in the movie. When we make the movie, there's just the... Do you try intentionally to make us cry? Does it just happen?
I work very hard not to ever think of the possibility of a movie adaptation because I think novels should be made out of text and not use like the shorthand imagery of movies that we've all sort of inherited in this super saturated image culture. But I don't so much think about making readers cry as I think about kind of the places I want the story to go to, and then like trying to take myself to those places, and then I cry. I cry when I write every book, but because it's just a cathartic experience for me. But I want to get to a place where I'm moved. And where I feel like there's something inside the language that's taking me to a emotionally honest place.
Crying, typing. That's
oh,
the
yeah.
test.
Yeah, I mean, when I was writing The Fault in Our Stars, like I would go into Starbucks every morning at like 7:30, and I would open up my computer, and I would cry for like 4 hours, and then I would close the computer and leave.
Yeah, that's how I am in Starbucks.
Yeah,
the toilets, the bathrooms.
That's
Clean them, for God's sake, clean them.
No, the
Wouldn't kill you.
The baristas
once a week.
Yeah, the baristas didn't even think I was weird. They're so used to people just weeping openly in Starbucks in front of their computers that it didn't bother them.
More sadness, I'm afraid. Liverpool fans, we're gonna get to the. There's gonna be a crescendo.
Yeah, but first we have to go to the darkness.
We've got to talk about Raheem Sterling.
Yeah.
Ditching Liverpool and Brendan Rodgers and saying, I've joined a club in Manchester City who can win trophies.
Yeah.
At Longhorn Will wants to know, John Green, how do I process Raheem? Am I happy at the money? Am I sad that we lost a good player?
Yeah.
Or am I just depressed that elite players just don't want to stay at Liverpool Football Club?
Well, I mean, the first thing that I would say is that Raheem Sterling is 20 years old, and when I was 20 years old, I made a lot of bad decisions. So I wouldn't say that necessarily we can't keep elite players.
You joined Aston Villa, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I signed. I couldn't help myself.
Shouldn't have done it.
But they offered me a contract. I should have. Yeah, I know. But by the way, I was recently in an airport and I ran into a bunch of the best soccer players between the ages of 15 and 17 in the United States. They were there for a tournament, and one of them recognized me from Crash Course, that he studied history through the Crash Course videos we make, and he came up to me, started talking to me, and they all started talking to me. There was about 70 kids, and one of them said, "Do you have any advice for someone who's 16 years old and has got a college scholarship?" And I was like, I do have advice. I have 2 pieces of advice. The first is to see Paper Towns on July 24th, the day it comes out. And the second is to play for Liverpool if you have the opportunity.
Oh, and the third one would be pretend you got a German dad. That's it. We covered all the bases.
Yeah. So I mean, what I think about Sterling is that he's 20 years old. He's a kid. He has a lot of people around him who, wanted him to be at what they perceive to be a bigger club, and 49 million pounds is a tremendous amount of money for a 20-year-old player. I genuinely wish him the best. Like I do. I'm not gonna boo him when he plays against us next year. I know a lot of people will, but I won't. And I wish him the best, and I hope that he has a successful career, and I hope that we're able to invest that money to develop players so that they can have better careers than they otherwise would have had.
Yeah, I mean, objectively, I've got to say, I'm just relieved he was able to rebound from his terrible sickness so quickly, as a human being.
It was amazing. Like, he had this horrible, horrible cold.
Worse
and then
than that.
Almost the day that the minute that he was sold to Manchester City, he had this remarkable recovery.
Didn't even have to go to Jamaica to recuperate.
Yeah,
just got there. I mean, I'll say Liverpool's off-season is kind of proof of this apex kind of food chain in Premier League football, in which Liverpool can do nothing when Manchester City or United or Chelsea come calling.
Yeah.
In the same way as Aston Villa can do nothing when Liverpool come calling for Christian Benteke, or Southampton can do pretty well nothing when Liverpool pluck the heart of their team. But let's not mourn those who leave.
Yeah, let's celebrate those who arrive.
Let's not mourn those who defect.
Yeah.
Let's lust after all those who've arrived.
Yeah, I mean, we have...
Adam Bogdan's here. Gingy. You got Gingies.
Fine. I mean, I've been concerned about the incredible paucity of Gingers for years.
Since Risa left.
I mean, for a...
Get me, Gingies.
For a team that plays in red, it's just unacceptable not to have a single Ginger in the squad.
Girl on fire. Nathaniel Klein, Roberto Firmino.
I think Firmino could be a good player.
I think Joe Gomez could be a terrific player.
I think Gomez could be a good player too.
I think Danny Ings could not be a good player, but James Milner.
You know what? I will make a bet right now.
Yes.
6-pack of Guinness.
Okay.
That Danny Ings scores more than 10 goals this season.
I think he may be the new Ricky Lambert.
Well, then you should take the bet.
I'll take that bet.
All right.
So how many goals did I just agree on?
10.
Oh, I'll definitely take that. I'm going to give the Guinness to charity. So inspired. I'm sorry, John Keane's presence.
I'm not giving my Guinness to charity when I win.
James Milner. James Milner's a
great player.
Beautiful James Milner.
Great player.
How excited are you?
I'm exactly as excited as boring James Milner is excited. He's going to be a great player, and he's a totally. You know what he doesn't create? Drama, and we don't have enough of those. I think he's going to be great. He's a solid player. He can play a bunch of different roles, and I actually think that he's going to thrive under Brendan Rodgers' system as long as he has the job.
The thought of him, James Milner, playing alongside Jordan Henderson.
Yeah.
The most upstanding, morally just midfield partnership
I know.
the Premier League's ever seen.
Yeah, the two people least likely to get arrested in the entire Premier League.
They remind me of Ace and Gary, the ambiguously gay superhero tandem from SNL of yore. I can't wait to watch them. They're going to be, what if we use the word baptism of fire? We're slightly underselling what Liverpool are about to face. Their season opener.
Yeah.
It's like some kind of gruesome Eli Roth snuff movie. They open, let me remind you, I'm going to read this out to you. They open against Stoke City.
We're going to win that one.
The team who ended last season by slapping 5 goals before half-time.
Literally don't remember that happening, but that sounds...
6-1.
I believe you when you say that, but I'm pretty sure that didn't happen. That could not possibly have happened in Stevie's last game.
You should ask Stevie G, because he wakes up often in the middle of the night in LA where they've given him a choice of pillows, soft or hard. Doesn't make any difference. No, Charlie Adam, no.
It couldn't have happened against Stoke in Stevie's last game. But what's the next one after we beat Stoke?
All I know is in the next 10 games after that, you face Arsenal.
Gonna win.
Manchester United.
Gonna win.
Everton.
Likely draw.
Spurs.
Definite win.
Southampton.
Gonna win.
You get to see some of the players you'll be cheering for next season. And Chelsea.
Yeah, we're going to draw that game. So we're going to come out of that. We'll be in second at the end of 7 games.
I was going to say, you're a writer. You're a master of narrative.
Yeah.
How's it all going to end? To use your words, are Liverpool going to right a lot of wrongs, or are they going to wrong some rights, John Green?
I'll tell you what, after 7 games, there's 2 things that could happen. And one is that Brendan Rodgers has a job. And the other is that he doesn't. And I think that...
Which are you rooting for?
I think he's the right guy for right now. I really do. So I think hopefully he'll be there the whole season, and then hopefully we'll win the league, and there won't be any question about whether he's the right leader.
At Adam Jacobs tweeted, "Does John feel LFC is finally coming of age under Rodgers?" And John knows a lot about coming of age.
Yeah.
Or are they going back towards awkward adolescence?
My big question is how are we going to coalesce this team that just doesn't have a lot of has a lot of new players and had a lot of new players last year?
Straight season.
Yeah, are we Spursing it again? Are we re-Spursing? And that's my fear.
Spurs and goes, that's a great business
Not
model.
me. That's why I was like, maybe we should just spend $150 million on one Lionel Messi. But he wasn't in time. For some reason, we weren't able to attract him.
Stephen Naismith, I'll sell you that for 150. And that 6-pack of Guinness you were mentioning.
He's amazing because he's transparent, and that's a huge advantage.
He might be in the room now, and we wouldn't.
We have no way of knowing.
By the way, to me, Brendan Rodgers is the Quentin Jacobson of football. He's the kind of guy that say, I'm not saying that everything is survivable, just that everything except the last thing is.
Yeah.
At Dick S. Son wants to know, John Green, should we replace the entire Liverpool squad with the US women's national team? And by how many points would we win the league?
Oh my! How fun was it this summer to watch the Women's World Cup, where people played with absolute sportsmanship, where they played with courage and heart, and where the U.S. women's national team got better and better every game until that final game, when if you turned it on 25 minutes in, you were already too late. Like, it was just a magical summer, and as bad as it is for me in the off season, as miserable as I am, I wish that there was a Women's World Cup every year, and they could keep the Men's World Cup every 4 years, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, to me, this was the World Cup when the World Cup moved from a under-the-radar kind of in the early 1990s non-event to a novelty event to a big occasion. This was the year that it turned into an elite sporting event, and it was wonderful to access from every single regard. I'm just surprised Liverpool didn't go in for Megan Klingenberg.
Oh, she's fantastic.
She's better than that.
I also feel like the quality of play has gotten so much better, World Cup to World Cup to World Cup, in the last 12 years. I mean, it's really...
It's why it's so important that the US won this one. It's going to get harder and harder.
It is
harder to win. I mean, talking about investments in football and investments in the future, we've got to talk about the John Green stand. Mm-hmm. You're remarkable. Here's a thing I love about you. There's many things I love about you. You go truly, madly, deeply into an eclectic series of wormholes. There's many people who love football in America. There's less people who take that next step and sponsor Wimbledon, the fan-owned, fantastic team in League Two. There's even fewer people. There's one person who would take that extra step, and after sponsoring them last season, they had the Nerd Fighters motto on the back of their jerseys. Tell us what you've done and why you've done it, because it's quite fantastic.
Well, they're still going to have the Nerd Fighter logo on the back of their shorts in the 2015-2016 season, not least because it allows them not to have to order a ton of new uniforms. But but this year I'm also sponsoring the North Stand, which will be known as the John Green Stand. I didn't want to call it that, but the Wimbledon guys thought it would be a good idea. So yeah, so we're going to have the North Stand of the stadium in South London where AFC Wimbledon plays, sponsored by me.
American successes in world soccer, to me, the US women's national team is up here.
Sure.
For winning that World Cup.
Yeah, absolutely.
To me, you sponsoring a stand in League Two football. It's mind-blowing.
I'd put it beneath the Women's World Cup. But yeah,
we are gonna buy a team one of these days.
You should.
John.
I would love to. I would love to go halvesies with you on a team specifically. But you know what? Why buy a team when you could just support a team that's already owned by its fans, that's run the right way, the way that AFC Wimbledon is, where every fan gets to vote for the board of directors, and where the board of directors is made of fans, and they get to figure out the path of the team. And you can say, lots of people are like, oh, well, that doesn't work. But if that doesn't work, how come they work their way up from the 9th tier back to the Football League in just 9 years? It's an amazing, amazing story, and I really believe in fan-owned football.
Julie Andrews, Mother Teresa, John Green.
Thanks.
Just too bloody good. He's too bloody good.
Thanks, man.
I like to end with some life advice from you.
Sure.
I read a great article posted by yourself on your own blog.
That's where most of my life advice is posted.
About your writing process. Someone asked you how you deal with writer's block.
Yeah.
I loved your answer. You probably don't remember it. You need me to cue you a little bit.
Well, my dad, I don't know if this is what I said, but my dad still tells me, my dad is here today, and he's here to celebrate the premiere of the Paper Towns movie.
What's his name?
Mike Green.
Mike Green.
My parents, Sydney and Mike, they live in Western North Carolina. They have goats. They make soap from goat's milk. They have chickens and a big vegetable garden, and this is how they're spending their retirement. They're amazing people. I love them so, so deeply. And I remember complaining to my dad when I was first starting writing that I felt like I couldn't get anything done, and like I had writer's block. And my dad said, you know, coal miners don't get coal miners block. And I have tried to take that to heart and to keep my head down and keep working.
You know, Arlo White, the great lord of the North,
sure, yeah,
came on our show, and he said his dad, when he's complaining about commentating, his dad's phrase is, "It's not coal mining, son."
Yeah, no, I think that Arlo White and I might have the same dad.
All fathers with surnames named after colours have amazing life perspective. I bet you if you met Macy Gray's dad, I bet you he was really balanced. Paper Towns hits theatres this weekend. All I'll say is, We bask in your glory. You're the kind of bloke that we all savour your success. We are keeping our fingers crossed for you. I'm even keeping my fingers crossed for your team, your mob.
Thank you.
After that, which is harder for me to say.
I know that's difficult for you, but except for 2 weekends a year, I hope that things work out well for Everton as well.
I find the other 36 rather hard for Liverpool as well, to be candid. But John Green, Paper Towns in the movie theatres this weekend. Bring hankies, bring friends. Godspeed.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure. L'chaim.